Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. So glad you're here, and we're going to move forward with Hollywood Animal. My studio is Stubborn Mule Studios. I should have said Productions. The more I think about it, I wish I had said Stubborn Mule Productions. Stubborn Mule Studios, SMS. Yeah, I don't know. That isn't working for me. I'm not sure if there's a way to change it. Not going to worry about it right now today. Let's see what happens. We have run into a couple of bugs. Neither are not game changing or ending, but they are game changing, right? We didn't want to assign security for a million days. Yeah, that was one of them. And then there was the one where it kind of just gave us lore ipsum as its description on how something worked. So I don't know how quickly they will patch that. I don't know if game saves will need to be adjusted or what. We might end up resetting on accident, folks. I'm not sure. Hopefully they're able to get their new release out quickly because it sounds like it's pretty major, and I'm excited for it. I want to see how much they've changed, and they feel like they've done a lot better job balancing, so that'll be fun to see. With that said, we were about to see the last week of the run of Millionaire for a day and how it lands. It did not make the money I thought it would in the first couple of weeks, so I'm really excited to see where it stopped. The Butler Did It script is in. This was Rick, I think, working on this. That's a pretty decent script. We'll take it. Nice job, Rick. 540 points. That's pretty high. Now I'm noticing, though, the film came in at 5.4, didn't it? 5.3. Okay, maybe it's not related. I don't know. It feels like it's usually like 300 points, 310 points. So we put these parts together, so I'm pretty confident that they'll fit together well, but we're going to shelve it for now. We've got a couple of other projects rolling right now, and I want to see what happens here, and then we should go ahead and get the pipeline started. No reason to wait any longer. Heck, we could start with that, but I was thinking of going with something a little lower key and tossing our new actress, Wendy, into it. Modern American city with a daring adventurer and a damsel in distress with a serial killer. We'll make her the damsel in distress in Escape from Springfield. That is a movie that they named, and I did generally say I wanted to try to change those. Let's change the name of this one, if I can. We can do it when it's a project. We can do that right here. We're going to change this to Journey to the Amazon. Jour. Journey to the Amazon. All right. Does that change things dramatically? It's a Wild West. Okay. Journey to Tombstone. There we go. All right. Homer's finally going to get a swing at bat here with us. Well, another one. He did do one film with us. Soundstage. We're going to try out the brand new Soundstage. Let's see what it would look like if everything was on location. It tends to be where I start. Eventually, I probably take some shortcuts and realize I'm just not going to do all of them. 151 days. That is going to be a super expensive movie. Let's see how expensive here. Well, we can't go back, can we? If we go forward, it doesn't bring us back to the screen easily. So let's go ahead and knock these down some. Well, I think interiors we can do in a Soundstage pretty well. That'll cut a few days. The prison, maybe. I don't know. Desert. I feel like desert would be a heck of a lot better than mountains on a soundstage, right? But it's saying that the mountains aren't used quite as much. These with the different colored background, they tend to be the more important ones for the outcome, is what it tells us. But I think we need to cut the time. I mean, we're still at 133 days. This is a long, long movie. 118. I mean, if we do the entire thing on sound stages, it's 110 days. I think we're going to have to do that. It will be extremely expensive otherwise. So we're going to do that. It's just going to be all on set. Good news is we have a level 2 soundstage, but we don't have the ability to use the level 2 star yet. We've got other things we need first. Okay, well, the technology, actually that improved from our last movie, so that's good. We will go with extras and enough crew. $4,000 for that. I think that's an easy buy. Now we got to start assigning some folks. Okay, well, we're still in that rut of there weren't a whole lot of top-notch producers available. Still only have a 4.5 at the top end. This 4.2 for 86 is a take. We're going to grab him. The money is right more than anything, and we kind of need bodies. So we're going that route. He's only going to cost us $13,000 for 3 years total. That's pretty good. All right. So this one we'll go ahead and we'll use both of them. We talked about that before. I'm going to put Clifford Green in the driver's seat, but we're going to add a second one. I don't really know what it does, but we'll have two producers on this. Hopefully we add them up and we have a 7.8. I have a feeling that's not going to be the case though. All right. Well, from a director perspective, we could go with Herman, but I think we'll go with Anthony. Anthony does a pretty good job, and I think he can get up to like level 6 or 7. He's been with us from the get-go. I kind of like him. I mean, like or dislike, they are literally digital characters, right? So who knows? I wonder if Whitey's and Peter, he could end up dead. And that's not exactly funny, but we had to skip using security on him because it was going to be for 1,000,000 days. That didn't seem right. I'm realizing that maybe it was just the visual that was showing that, and it really would have just been the 6 months or whatever it normally is, but we'll see. We're going to go with Lewis, though. Uh-oh. I don't know what it was going to tell us there with its lore ipsum. So, Daring Adventurer. I don't know why it would be telling us not to use him or to use him. What I will say, though, is he probably won't work with Wendy. So if we try tossing Wendy in here. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm still an artist. I'm not a monkey that reads lines in front of a camera. Every artist needs a creative support of other professionals. I'm not acting with Wendy. I don't care whose daughter she is. Well, but if you pay me $30,000, I'll do it. Let's do that. He doesn't have to like it. He just has to do it. And we'll even give him a gift to make that a little bit less. But there we go. All right. There you go, pal. You're going to work with who we tell you to work with. And you're going to shine, and it's going to be great. And then the serial killer. Again, I'm a little nervous to slot Peter Harris, but I guess I got to pay my lumps, right? We'll go ahead and use him. Oh, he doesn't want to work with Wendy either. All right, well, I'm not paying him another $30,000. So we'll use David Gutman. He's still on our books. Yeah, we'll use David. Okay, and you'll notice the cost of this one is up to almost $400,000 now. And that is with using the minimal studio time possible. We cut it down from over 150 days. So add, another 40% to this. That's what it would have been. Yipes. All right, there we go. Wendy's movie is underway. We don't have to worry about that, except if we were to choose to cut it for whatever reason. I don't think we will, but it is a possibility. Okay, so here we are, Millionaire for a Day. It actually, why did it not draw much? I felt like the other movie grabbed like 600,000 in the first week. It had about the same number of viewings. I don't know. Maybe I just misremembered it. This isn't too bad. We're still at 200,000. I felt like this one was really, really super tanking. It is not. That's good. So we are going to continue it for another couple of weeks. We'll do 4 weeks on this. You don't choose that. It's in 4-week blocks. We do choose the screens, and we will back these all down as far as the ones we're paying for. And we will keep all of our screens active. We're not going to have another movie coming out between now and then, so we're good to go. Let's continue advertising for it. Now, that advertising is entirely linear. We pay what we pay, and it just is the number of weeks now. So we would divide that by 4 basically, and it would give us our number, but we'll go with that, and we will continue. All right. Peter Lambert is the police chief of Los Angeles, and he has a favor to ask of us. If there's anyone you want to be on the good side of, it's the police chief. So we are going to go with his idea. He basically wants us to make a movie about cops. He talks about how they're doing it in Europe. I don't really fully understand that, but okay. We're modern day musketeers, okay? So he wants us to show how, cops impact people's lives a little bit. Great idea. We'll do it within 2 years. I am up for that. And again, having the police chief on your side in 1930, not a bad thing, particularly with Prohibition. There we go. Heroes in uniform. New story element we get to use. Well, we're going to want to write a movie around this. Do we have anyone available right now? I think Roger's available, right? Let's come down here and look. Rick is available. Roger is not available. Rick is available. It's a comedy. We might make it like an adventure. Maybe an adventure comedy. It doesn't have to be entirely a serious movie. We don't have to make it a comedy either. What would be a good name for this? Let's call it City of Shadows. There we go. Maybe make it a detective piece or a thriller. Let's go with thriller. We can do both. I'm going to go straight thriller, though. I think I like that idea. I think we're going to go with Modern Town. We're doing okay on money right now. It's about 1931 where you kind of can hit the budget crunch because a few factors come together. I might want to make something that's easy to make, cheap, and we can make some money with. So maybe we're going to go ahead and go with American Town. And we will continue. The protagonist in this thriller, well, let's make it a cop. Now, this doesn't satisfy his request, which is that it has heroes in uniform. So the second thing we want to do is make sure we do that. More than once, I have made a cop movie for the guy and forgotten to put this in there, and I have paid the price. So let's go. He'll be up against a criminal mastermind. And one thing I did find interesting, you can make the cop female. I don't know how realistic that would have been in 1930. I suppose not out of the question. Doesn't seem like it would have been entirely normal, though. We could go with a criminal mastermind has to be male. I do like to balance the use of male and female actors in my movies. We can go with serial killer because we don't have a lot of flexibility on what we can work with here. Let's do that and make it a female. Let's have we could do a sidekick. Let's do a sidekick. That sounds fun. And then the finale, well, we're not gonna kill her. We'll have her punished. I feel like that's good. Or we could have the protagonist die heroically. A little sad, but I mean, it's Hollywood, right? It's a thriller. The sidekick would survive. Let's do that. See how that goes. Rick may be horrible at writing this as a comedy writer. Who knows? But there we go. There's our movie that we're going to do for the police chief. Again, having him in your friends list is good. And here's a new technology that just came out that we can't buy yet because we don't have the technical support department built just yet. But when we can, this is a pretty decent camera. We'll be able to see the stats on it before we buy it, and we will start using it. It is expensive, but worth it. Okay, we got both of these in the hopper. That's good. As long as we don't stop anything, that'll all work out just fine. And hey, that technical support office is complete. That is great. So we can now buy technologies. That's fantastic. Next up, it's kind of either or for me. I'm going to go with sets and props because this is what kind of unlocks our ability to use our soundstage level 2 to its fullest potential. So we're going to go with that. We'll be a little generous here. We'll go, yeah, we can do that. And I kind of learned my lesson there, but we'll spend a few of those points. There we go. And now script results for Feelings in a Bottle. This was one it was an idea that we assigned somebody to. I have a feeling it's Roger. Would have been wrong. I was thinking it was going to be the other guy. Okay. What he came up with: action, adventure, romance, modern American city with a clumsy oaf and a bandit. Okay, not horrible. A love interest, a femme fatale, and protagonist overcomes self-doubt. That's not too bad. We can keep that one. Right now, the engine doesn't pay too close of attention there. And Bessie Patterson, an actor with us, her contract is up and she's not our biggest fan, but she's willing to work with us. We should be able to hire her a little cheaper than we got her the first time. 10% off. There we go. Let's go ahead and start locking people up longer term. 160 for 3 years. So a little over 50,000 a year, 53,000 a year, I think. Okay. Million here, a million there. You're suddenly talking about real money, right? We do want to build out technical support. That's right. We can't just go and buy those cameras. We have to have technical support first. And the good news is it's a relatively cheap office to build. And Rotten Fates is ready to go to post-prod. How did it do? I bet it went up. It usually goes up here. It went up. Went up well. Take it. Okay. Only to go back down when we throw it through editing because we do not have top-notch post-productionists. Here we go. Well, we're assigning everything to Emma, driving her numbers up as best we can. Just for fun, I do want to see if there's any other composers out there. There really aren't. So we'll stick with these guys. Eventually, I will use the other editor and composer, but for now, my plan is drive up Emma and Lewis's numbers as best I can so that they can work on better stuff and we lose less momentum on different things there. Okay. Millionaire for a Day should be wrapping up here soon. I guess a couple of weeks. Love all the cars driving by up here. Flip that one over. Journey to Tombstone. Nice. Did pretty well with it. Okay. Well, not a lot to see there. Really don't have any options. We will assign simple security to that one, and away it goes. Honestly, wouldn't hurt. I like to, so I think ideally I would have one in each window. The thing is, this window goes pretty quick. It's usually like 30 to 40 days. This one takes 70 to 120, 130 days, even a little longer. As we saw, that one was like 154 if we didn't do anything. So you do have to kind of be mindful of that. This goes relatively quickly. It's usually just over a month. So I try to keep them balanced, though. You don't want to release all your movies at once. You don't want to have them stacked up too much. And you can only put them off for so long, at least having them scheduled. They can sit on this timeline indefinitely, I presume. I've never done that. But you can't schedule more than like 16 weeks out. So I like to have it balanced and kind of keeping it consistent as opposed to ebbs and flows. When we have more studios where we can run films, it's less important to worry about it being completely balanced because you don't mind kind of moving those numbers around a little bit with your studios and your screenings, rather, with your screenings. Okay. Let's go ahead and fire one off here, though. Let's do a cheap one. We're going to do one effectively as cheaply as we can, and I think the best candidate for that is Colored Petals by Roger. We're going to go ahead and start that one. And we can use bottom of the barrel, folks, all the way across the board on this. So we will start with Harry Ray, give him something to do. We have him for a while. So yeah, we should try to use him. Soundstage, we'll go with the stage 100. Keep the consistency of generally starting with these 123 days if we do everything on location. I think the jungle will bring inside and the island will bring inside. That drops, that knocked a lot of days off. Maybe one more. I like doing the cave in the cave. I feel like, how do you get a good cave on the sound set? The native settlement, though. So I'm not sure. 14 days down to 10. We lose 4 days there. We lose 3 days there. We'll go with that one. You know what? We're not going to worry about it. We'll keep it at 100 days. This is a pretty low number. There we go. Historical thriller with a criminal mastermind. Do we need extras? Well, we've got, there's a native settlement. It's on a tropical island. I would say it's either touristy or kind of, what's that called? Pan-Pacific? Oceania, I guess, where it could be like an island that hasn't been properly explored. I don't know. We'll go ahead and we'll do it. $4,400. You know what? We're not going to. This was the one where we were going to go cheap. Because we're going to keep it all cheap. Oh, we don't have a producer at all, though. So we're going to have to hire somebody. The good news is there aren't good producers to hire. That's kind of silly. I think we'll do our best, though. I'm not going to pay that for him, though, but we will go with this guy, and he's modest. He's actually got a relatively positive trait. He's a good value. Yes, we'll grab him for as long as we can, which currently is 3 years for us. I am assuming there's an event or something that comes up where you can increase your range here, because I see the contracts that other movies are signing folks, and they are longer than 3 years sometimes. And eventually we'll see that we can forbid 10-year contracts. So obviously that's something. Director, we'll go ahead and assign Lewis, our clumsy oaf. Let's go with Ted Farmer. He's young. Get him some experience. And the criminal mastermind, well, is there a reason we don't use Peter Harris? Isn't he in that other movie too? I'm surprised it would let us schedule him. Let's go with Russell. Russell hasn't done a lot, although he has been a serial killer and not a criminal mastermind, though. All right, we'll put Russell on it. 332, not bad. There we go. Got it in the pipeline. Let's see what happens here. 2 weeks till our new movie releases. Glitter in the Eyes. This is the one that's going to be the guy whose name I can't remember. Bob Rodriguez. There he is. And he has maxed out at 2. Well, that's too bad. We don't want to hang on to that. Sorry, Bob. I think you're going to be leaving us. Okay. Comedy drama in a fantasy kingdom. Talk about expensive, with a bandit and a daring adventurer. The rest of it isn't horrible. I don't know. It will be an expensive movie to make. Fantasy Kingdom is rough. I think we kill it and we say, sorry, Bob, you're going to need to find other employment. It's not personal, it's business. Oh, that didn't happen though. All right, so Millionaire for a Day is going to be done at this point, but it did continue to make money right up to the end. 1.2 million for us. We'll take it. Nice. And distribution. 9.7 million people went to see it. Very good. Happy with that. Like I said, that first week I was really concerned. And this is where the producer finally frees up. So once a movie is done with its full run, he releases. I don't think much of your studio. He has low happiness, but I suppose we could still work together. Yes, I think we want to hire him long-term this time. We will save 10% with the successful collaboration. Wish we had better gifts to give. We will soon, just not yet. 143. That number is coming up quite a bit, isn't it? Right there, 141, 142, 143. But we lock him in for a bit. There might be another one. Nope. Okay. Let's see. We were talking about getting rid of Bob. Bob, the day has come. We're going to have to let you go. Sorry, Bob. We'll hire another Bob, though. Screenwriters. Well, there is no other Bob. Bob is the best one out there. Let's be honest, that's a little disappointing. He's not really great. Let's go with Roy. I don't know anything about Roy. He's relatively cheap. He's not currently limited in his level. I don't know why you would hire a level 1 person if you know that's all the better they're ever going to be. I'm just not sure if there's a strategy there or not. There could be. If you think of one, don't hesitate to leave a comment about it. I'd love to hear what you think. Let's go ahead and toss him on an idea. Doesn't really matter what. We just want to get him some experience. Comedy, daring, adventure, modern American town. That sounds great. Or a detective, hopeless romantic, modern American town. Or an action, hopeless romantic. Lots of modern American town stuff. Let's put Roy on one of those. And honestly, let's put Roger on one of those. Okay. I do like it when we start to get other settings that we can use. I'm aware of, I think, 4 other settings that I've seen total. I would bet there's a lot more than that. That's just all the farther I've gotten. Oh, now that I think about it, yeah, there were a couple of others. So probably 6 or 7 other ones that you end up being able to get so far that I'm aware of. And again, that probably isn't an exhaustive list that I've seen. Rotten Fates is running into another problem. Oh, yes. He wants to play... Composer has some unusual ideas for the score. Instead of a violin, he wants to record crowing roosters. And in place of drums, he's asked for human skull and bones. Okay. Well, lower the commercial appeal, but raise the artistic appeal. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Things are clocking right along. Speed things up a little bit. Let's go ahead and see the Last Streetcar release. Anti-Prohibition. This is another one of those where an actor, I think, leads this one. Simon Carr. And it seems to me that when this happens, they are unemployed. And so it's a good time to go and snag them. About 50%. Oh, Simon is a good actor. Look at that. Let's see if he's available. Hopefully that's a yes. Actors, Employee Center. Free. Simon Carr. Look at that. He has this little rising star icon here. That is good. He is expensive. He knows he's good is what that's telling me. Have anybody else with an icon like that yet? Nope, still none. Well, maybe we don't take him for, maybe we do. Well, let's lock him up for a movie anyway. We'll lock him up for a movie. We'll get, some success with him and then talk him into coming back for 10% discount. $70,000 for one movie with the guy. All right. There you go. So when you have those folks, though, you don't tend to lose them. I think in the future they can be poached out of your stable, and that'll kind of suck. But once you have them, you tend to have them. Keep them happy, and they'll stick with you. All right. 5 days to the Last Streetcar. Oh, there it is. Henry Perry took a beating. Okay. So I think this was in a previous episode. It was in a previous episode. We got the message that Peter was being targeted, and we tried to assign security to him. It was going to be 1,000,000 days of security. That didn't seem right. So I said, let's find out what happens. Well, this is what happens, but it's the wrong actor. That's weird to me. Haven't really seen that. So Henry is unavailable for an extended period of time, 3 months, basically. Now, if he is on a movie that's in works right now, we'll have to either replace him. Doesn't look like he is. We would have gotten an alert. Oh, maybe that's it, though. Nope, it is not. Louis Blair is angry about the quality of the script. He says he's never heard such wooden dialogue. Okay, tell him to do his job and quit putting on airs. It slows the scheduling down. I'm surprised. Oh, we don't have rolling edits yet. If we had rolling edits, this is a simple fix. We do need to get rolling edits. We don't have it, so we only have this option. Not a lot to pick from here. It's just going to slow things down, though. Fortunately, that's all it does. It doesn't impact happiness. It doesn't impact the quality. Those are the most important. I would rather it take longer. I don't want it to take forever, but I'd rather it take longer. And the Last Streetcar, here it is. How is it going to play? There we go. D+. That's really bad. Don't even approach this movie at gunpoint. Ouch. They know how to hurt a guy, don't they? That wasn't even the mean one. Goodness. Okay. Well, the smart news is we didn't rent any theaters to speak of. It keeps coming up with this. It's like it isn't recognizing we set it to 0 and it's taking it as a 1. 4 times 19. That lines up, right? So, all right. Here we go. Colored Petals. I didn't name that one. I said I would be renaming these. I should do that. Let's see what it lands at here, though. I meant to do that. I just forgot. Okay. We have an option here to do that. I want to remember what the type of movie is. Historical thriller on a tropical island. Goodness. Can't change it here, though. We can change it here. Let's go with Dancing Till Dawn. I don't know. That feels more like a love story, but there we go. Okay. Rotten Fates is about ready. Okay. Oh, this is a ridiculous one. The director wants to set a horse on fire. We're not doing that. He can, yeah, no, not doing it. His happiness will decrease by 20. It will lower the quality of the film. Well, that's just okay. We're going to take that. We're not taking the hit on loyalty and happiness for everybody. The one time I'll take that hit. I'm not setting a horse on fire. That's ridiculous. Rotten Fates. Okay. Well, it dropped considerably, and we kind of expected that. 1.6. That's too bad. We just don't have the talent to support it at this point. She just hit level 5, too. That's great. But it's not enough. So, see what happens with this one. I think we're going to give it a good fanfare. I feel like it should do fairly well. In the past, I've actually had it be one of my better movies. So I'm going to treat it kind of like that. We're going to go ahead and put it in front of a lot of people the first couple of weeks. And then we'll kind of see what happens after that. We'll spend an extra $125,000 in distribution. Should be able to get it. Yep, don't have to pay any extra there. Now, it is a drama romance thriller. We're going to start advertising there. And I think we're going to go with adults. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. And maybe we go ahead and hit this middle one. So we're ending up spending over $250,000 in advertising and distribution. But hopefully you got to spend money to make money. That'll end up being a good investment. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what the first week of The Last Streetcar does, and then we will end this episode. And there it is. It did not do great, did it? Oof. Didn't fill the seats. Okay. Well, it should make its money back. Even if this is half for everything else, we'll be over our minimum, but it's going to be a squeaker. That's too bad. But it's going to happen. Hopefully it comes out on the plus side. We gain a little bit of experience from it, and we have something to talk about with our friends. All right. I do appreciate you joining me on this tour of, what is it, Stubborn Mule Studios and Hollywood Animal. Until next time, fair travels.